Yeah, hello. For this video I just want to talk a bit about the background, a few resources, how I got to choose this boat. We'll have a quick look at the plans. So yeah, it all started years ago. I worked for a yacht charter company, maintaining boats, servicing boats, repairing boats, did a bit of skippering, a bit of deliveries. And during the winter of that period, we lived aboard the boats, and I got the feeling for living aboard. I knew that I liked it, so keep the story as short as possible. After that period, we went to Canada, and I bought a boat there. And the story of that boat, I'm currently in the process of writing on my website, Miss Molly 1, the Miss Molly 1 Adventure, and that you can read here. Well, Miss Molly 1 was junk rigged, and I didn't know anything about junk rigged boats at the time. It was kind of serendipity in a way. I just bought the boat, and once I realised what I got, that inspired me then to buy this book, Practical Junk Rig by Hassler and McLeod. And this is an absolutely brilliant book for anybody who's interested in junk rig. It tells you how to design junk rigs for a boat, it tells you all about the rig, everything you could possibly want to know. It's perhaps fair to say that junk rig development has gone on a little bit since this, but for basic cruising junk rig, this is the book you want. And I'm going to give you links to all of these books on my website as well, so they'll be there. Yeah, so the next book that led me to was the very obvious Voyaging on a Small Income by Annie Hill, in which she talks about her philosophy for cheap cruising. And as you might tell from the cover, she and her husband Pete built and cruise in a junk rig boat. It's a very good read. There are lots of tips in it. You don't need to agree with her philosophy absolutely. She's just got some good ideas. And I guess this book has inspired quite a lot of people to be interested in this type of boat. And the boat that they're sailing is a Jay Benford designed Dory. As you can see, perhaps you can see, is a junk rig schooner. And that really got me thinking about what I wanted, and when you look at this boat and the way they talk about it, it's really quite a simple boat to build. It's effective, it's a proven cruiser. They sailed this boat many thousands of miles, and that was a big inspiration on me. And just coming briefly back to this one, Annie Hill is now, I believe, the chairperson of the Junk Rig Association, which is a kind of online group for junk rig enthusiasts, junkies if you like. It's a very good resource, there's lots of information there, and their website is here. Yeah, so I had the idea to look into building a Benford Dory, and when you look into Benford Dories you'll see that they're constructed of sheet plywood. They're a hard-chined boat constructed from sheet plywood with epoxy glues. Basically a wooden epoxy boat. It's a wood boat that's covered in epoxy and glass. So the next important resource, I think, is this book here. It's the Gougeon brothers on wooden boat construction. I'm not sure about the pronunciation of their name, I must say. But basically speaking, these people are West System Epoxy. It's a very good book, lots of useful information for anybody who's interested in building a wood and epoxy boat. As I say, this is the West System Epoxy people, so it is a bit of a marketing tool for West System. You don't actually have to use West System Epoxy to build a wooden epoxy boat, but very good information in this book, and a very good read. I recommend it thoroughly. Yeah, so the next book of useful information is quite a contrast to the last one. This is George Buehler, Buehler's Backyard Boatbuilding. He also builds wooden boats. He has a very different approach to the previous West System people. Low tech, simply built, great resource, full of ideas, tips you can pick up to suit your own philosophy of boat building. A combination of all these things, you know, you pick up bits here and there to build your own philosophy of how to do it. And finally, this one here, Building Badger, written by Jay Benford, the designer of Badger, and Pete Hill. Remember, Badger was the boat from Voyaging on a small income that Annie Hill and Pete Hill built and sailed. And this book outlines the way in which they went about building the boat Badger, and also features all of Jay Benford's Dory designs in the back. Is it the best book in the world? Certainly not, but there are some useful tips, useful tips in the bits you can pick up on all sort of aspects of the build. You don't have to follow it step by step, you can build them your own way. On my website I've linked to various other websites of builders of similar, you know, Benford Dories. There are various approaches on how to build it, but there are certainly good tips in this, good ideas that you can pick up or adapt to the way that you want to go about it. So putting that aside, that leads me to my choice of boat. I say I decided to build a Jay Benford Dory. I initially thought big is beautiful. I was thinking the 36 foot or the 37.5 foot version. And then slowly I decided to go for a smaller one, 30, but Miss Molly 1 was 32 foot. It was comfortable, she was comfortable to live on, she was good at sea, the size was fine. I don't need a big crew, so I've decided to go for the 31 foot 8 inch version of Jay Benford's Dory. I like the schooner rig very much. I'm a big fan of the schooner rig. I like the junk rig. It's simple, it's effective. Yes, not so brilliant to windward, but they do go to windward. I can speak from experience. A great cruising rig, I believe. So I decided to go for that. Plywood and epoxy, hard chined, easy to build. I have one philosophy that is most important to me in this build coming up, and that is I am not going to use any new cut tropical hardwood. I refuse to. I don't think it's sustainable. If you look into logging in tropical areas, hardwood logging, it shouldn't be going on. I don't think it's done well. So I will build entirely from local woods, softwoods. I will use softwood plywood, even though there's lots of people on the web who will be screaming at me about it. I will use softwood plywood with epoxy. I'm not going to use any tropical hardwood at all, except if it's recycled. I always collect bits of wood. If I see bits of hardwood laying around, I pick them up, and I've got a collection of bits of mahogany, of teak and other hardwoods, old recycled wood. I will not buy any new tropical hardwood for this build. So, what to do? Have a look at Mr. Benford's website, that you can see here. And at some stage, you have to make a decision which model to go for, all of the plans, which is what I've done, and you get a pack of paper plans. There are about 50 or so sheets of plans. As I say, I'm going for the 31 foot 8, so you get plans for the 31 foot 8 and the 30 footer. It's basically the same boat. The 30 footer has a transom, 30 foot and 5 inch actually, has a little transom on it. Other than that, it's very similar. It's basically the same. I can't show you these, obviously they're copyrighted material, they're on sale, so I can't scan or put the plans up on the website. That would be illegal probably. But that's what you get. Details of all sorts of things, construction, sail plan, masts, hatches, it's planned out in the finest detail. You also get the table of offsets, of course, which is probably the most important thing, that allows you to loft, and to loft is to draw out full size, to draw the boat out full size in order to start building from it. So you can use this full size drawing to make your patterns, to make your frames from. That's what you get for your money. It's comprehensive. I believe there's everything here that you need to build the boat. Certainly if you've got a bit of savvy, a bit of boat building knowledge anyhow, it should be quite straightforward. I believe I'm ready for it now. The next video will be the lofting. I've been thinking long and hard how to go about the lofting in the best, most effective way. One issue I have is I want to keep my little day sailor in the boat shed for a while, for this winter at least. I want to be able to loft in the boat shed with the day sailor in there as well, which is a bit of a... But I've finally worked out how to do that, and we'll begin the lofting soon. In the next video we'll show how I go about that. Bye-bye.